Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I got one heck of a report to share with you, specifically in regards to, well, the document, this one right here, that assesses Russia's activities in the United States election. Well, we're going to delve through this together to see what is actually inside this bad boy, rather than instead of taking fake news' word for it. Let's delve through it ourselves and see what's really inside. And I encourage everyone, if you have an extra moment, read through it yourself. You'll get through it in probably less than 30 minutes. It's not a very long report, but we're going to delve through it together right now. I've read the whole thing. I'm going to highlight the most important areas. But what we thus far have been told by fake news is, well, 17 different agencies created this and that they had rock solid evidence. Well, let's see how right they are about their fake and false lies and claims. Let's delve into this report. All right, so here we are on the actual government website here. This is the document, and we're just gonna delve right through. You can see the date. Obviously, very recent, January 6, 2017. For starters, let's read their opening sentence here. Assessing Russian activities and intentions in recent U.S. election. Keep in mind that word recent, because what you're going to find later is it's actually not recent, some of it. But anyway, it is a declassified version of a highly classified assessment that has been provided to the president and to recipients approved by the president. It goes on to say, and I thought this was important, while the conclusions of this report are all reflected in the classified assessments, the declassified report does not and cannot include the full supporting information, including specific intelligence sources and methods, okay? So in other words, they can't include any evidence. They just can't do it. But what you're gonna find in the report is there is no said leaker, there is no said source that have given them any of this information. What you'll find is their main source of intel was from RT News, like a media news source. But what also I want to bring up, one last thing in this section, this is just their introduction page, but it says, we use words such as we assess or we judge. When they say that, they're conveying an analytical assessment or judgment, which means they don't have all the facts. They don't know with 100% certainty, but this is what they think is highly probable. I told you that this is a bit, a little bit of a laugh. But anyway, moving on. To scope and sequence. And it says information was available as of December 2016, the 29th there. This report includes an assessment drafted and coordinated among, number one, the CIA, the FBI, and the National Security Agency. Wait, what? Which draws on intelligence information collected and disseminated by those three. Wait, I thought you said there were 17. Washington Times, New York Post, MSNBC, CNN, ABC, shall I go on? All of them said there were 17 agencies. No, wait. Oops. There's only 3. Oh, lie number 1 debunked. Only 3. Okay. Scrolling down a little bit in this highly unclassified document. Some of our judgments about Kremlin's preferences are intent, and they are drawn from the behaviors of political figures in Kremlin. So they make a crazy laugh or look a certain way. Hey, that is where our assessment I don't make this stuff up. Also from the media and pro-Kremlin social media actors, all of whom the Kremlin either directs to convey messages or who are answerable to the Kremlin. Let me just make a point here. Before I go on, look, I'm not pro-Russia, okay? I am pro-truth. So I just want to, I'm pro-America. Heck, I am pro-America. But if you're going to provide and say that they made Trump win the election, or say that they're hacking our voting machines when they're really not, then I've got a problem with that. Or hint at things like that under the radar. I got a real problem with it. But you want to know the truth? everybody in all the different countries, there's all kinds of propaganda going on, and the way that they deem meddling, all countries are doing it. China freaking did it. North Korea. I mean, all of them influence something in some way. The U.S. influences and messes in elections in Israel. That's a fact. Obama's talked about it. It's been proven there. But here's the thing. Let's just get to the truth of the matter, and that's what it's about. I'm pro-America, and I stand on the side of America no matter what. And I'm pro-truth no matter where it lies, so just give me the truth and what's really going on. All right, so here is their main assessment. We believe, we assess, we think. That's what that word is. They think that Vladimir Putin ordered an influence campaign in 2016 aimed at the election. His goals are to undermine public faith in the democratic process. Look, he doesn't have to do that. We already know it's a bit screwed up. But he also wanted to paint Secretary Clinton in a bad light and harm her electability and potential presidency. And we also believe that Putin had developed a preference for Donald Trump. So what? Donald Trump was the one that said, I don't want to go to war with Russia. I don't want to start nuclear issues with Russia. Hello, of course. So what? Why don't we arrest CNN and MSNBC and ABC for influencing the election for Hillary Clinton, for heaven's sake? What's the, or go to China, who stood with and said, we need to support Clinton. Or how about the Pope? We make a file on the Pope because the Pope was standing butt and cheek with Hillary Clinton as well. Why not throw all those assessments in there? We also assess Putin and the Russian government aspired to help Trump election chances win by discrediting Secretary Clinton and contrasting him as unfavorable to her. Okay. It goes on down here. It says a Russian messaging strategy that blends covert intelligence operations such as cyber activity with efforts of the Russian government, state-funded media, third-party intermediaries, and paid social media trolls are basically what they're saying that Russia used. It goes on to say that their services conducted cyber operations against targets associated with this year's election in both political parties. I thought it was just one. Oh, now it's both. We assessed with high confidence. That's just another lie from mainstream media. Anyway, we assess with high confidence, meaning they don't have solid proof. They believe that they think that they know that Guccifer and DC Leaks are related to or released information basically to WikiLeaks, as you can see here. That is what they believe with high confidence, right? Doesn't matter that Julian Assange came out and said, no, we did not receive our information from Russia. But he also offered a reward for the death of the DNC staffer, Seth, who is now dead. It was murdered. And it was believed that he is the one that leaked the information. But nonetheless, they go on to say that Department of Homeland Security assesses that the type of system Russian actors targeted or compromised were not involved in vote tallying. Wait, I thought the mainstream media implied 100 times over, the lying media, that there was some, messing around with that stuff, but apparently not. Anyhow, just another lie from them. All right. So Russia's influence campaign targeting the presidential election. Some of this is just repeat in this section. But at the top here, they say, well, the reason that Putin did it was because he wanted to discredit Miss Clinton because he has publicly blamed her since 2011 for inciting mass protests against his regime in late 2011 and early 2012. And because he holds a grudge for comments he almost certainly saw as disparaging him. Okay, so if it all happened in 2011, obviously there's a little more time there. It goes on again. He had clear preference for Donald Trump. And what are the reasons that he liked Donald Trump? Well, it says they liked Donald Trump because Trump was a way to achieve international counterterrorism coalition against ISIL. Putin has had many positive experience working with Western political leaders whose business interests made them disposed to deal with Russia. And, these are, so what? So what if he likes one candidate over another? Big flippin' deal. Why not? Why just expose Russia? Why not expose China and everybody else? Okay, that's what I don't get. And then, obviously, mainstream media is not going to be. They just get out a lot of crap. It's upsetting. All right, their campaign is multifaceted. It says that we assess, we believe, we think that influence campaigns are approved by the highest levels of government, Russian government. Their campaign aimed at the U.S. election reflected years with an S, meaning they've known about this for many years that it's been going on. Russia influences campaigns are multifaceted and designed to be deniable because they use a mix of agents from cutouts, front organization, and false flag operations. It goes on to say the Kremlin's campaign aimed at the election featured disclosure of data obtained through cyber operations, intrusions into state and local boards, and overt propaganda. That's just... Russian intelligence collected both information and enabled the influence of the campaign. Going down a little further, in 2015, Russian intelligence gained access to the DNC network. Wait a minute. If they gained access in 2015, why the hell wasn't anything done in 2015? July 2015, why wasn't it stopped? Why did they sit there and allow it to continue through June? That's a year's worth. Well, no answer there. The General Staff Main Intelligence Directorate probably, which they're calling GRU, probably began cyber operations aimed at the U.S. election by March 2016. We believe that the operations resulted in compromise of the personal email accounts of Democratic officials. We also believe with high confidence that the GRU used Guccifer, DC Leaks, and WikiLeaks to release U.S. victim data obtained in cyber operations publicly and in exclusives to media outlets. Guccifer, who claimed to be an independent Romanian hacker, made multiple contradictory statements and false claims about his likely Russian identity through the election. Press reporting suggests more than one person claiming to be Guccifer 2.0 interacted with journalists. It goes on to say content that we assessed was taken from email accounts targeted by the GRU in March 2016 appeared on DC Leaks starting in June. I guess that is some of the evidence that they have, yet we don't have any of that on hand. We assess with high confidence that the GRU related information or material it acquired from the DNC and senior Democratic officials to WikiLeaks. Though, again, WikiLeaks denies that it received any information from any Russian agency. It goes on to say stuff about RT. The Kremlin's principal international propaganda outlet, RT, has actively collaborated with WikiLeaks. RT editor-in-chief visited WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange in the Ecuador embassy in London in 2013. So what? In 2013, they're going back to 2013 before Donald Trump was even in office and saying they corresponded in 2013, where they discussed renewing his broadcast contract with RT. Look, many people have a broadcast contract with RT. Many people have been on RT numerous times that are met. Ron Paul's been on RT. Alex Jones been on RT. Here we have Assange on RT. It's a Russian media news source. Russian media subsequently announced that RT had become the only Russian media company to partner with WikiLeaks and had received access to new leaks of secret information. RT routinely gives Assange sympathy. So what if they give him sympathy? I give him sympathy too. I think what he's doing is awesome. We need to expose corruption. Russian cyber intrusion into state and local electoral boards. Since early 2014, okay, if they knew about it then, why was nothing done? Again, Russian intelligence has researched U.S. electoral processes and related technology and equipment. DHS assesses that the types of system we observe Russian actors targeting are compromising are not involving vote tallying. Well, they're not messing with the machines. Russia's state-run propaganda machine comprised of its domestic media apparatus, outlets targeting global audience such as RT and Sputnik, and a network of quasi-government trolls contributed to the influence campaign by serving as a platform for Kremlin messages to Russian and international audiences. State-owned Russian media made increasingly favorable comments about President Trump in the 2016 general and primary election campaigns, progressed while consistently offering negative coverage on Hillary Clinton. So what? So what? What is the big deal of saying we don't like Hillary Clinton in Russia? You know, if that is their claim that Russia hacked the election, that they are saying they don't like Hillary Clinton, then they're guilty. So, CNN's guilty, MSNBC, ABC's guilty. We're guilty because I said I like Donald Trump. Okay, so it's a bit laughable, and the evidence that they're saying that they believe they had something to do with the Guccifer and the DNC hacks and WikiLeaks. That's their other accusation, saying they leaked the information to them. Well, newsflash, it just says they think it's possible. They believe, and with high confidence, that is the case, but they don't know with 100% certainty. But RT News is all over this thing because this is where they give examples. Russia media hailed Donald Trump's victory. Oh, good golly. Oh no, they shouldn't do that. A leader there at the Kremlin, he proclaimed that he would drink champagne if Donald Trump won. Gosh, he needs to be slapped in the head, right? Crazy guy. And this kind of goes on. This is all that is just stupid little, here's RT on August 6th, having Julian Assange headlines. So what? How many people had Julian Assange in their headlines? Whoop-de-doo, big fat deal. Moving on a little bit here. I'm going to skip this page, but you can go back. This right here, what you're seeing is an annex of 2012 information that's happened since 2012. Why are we going back to 2012? Oh, I get it. Because they knew in some way, shape, or form that Russia was hacking the election in 2012. Well, why wasn't anything said or done then? Why all of a sudden are they hacking now with Donald Trump, but they didn't do it in 2012, but yet you're using evidence from 2012? That doesn't make sense. All of this is just stupid, idiotic, showing RT News supporting or saying, this is my opinion about the election, so what? Or saying that there's voting vulnerabilities in the U.S. election. All of this, 2012 or a little after that, but this is all old. Old information about RT happened years ago. Old information about RT on Occupy Wall Street. Here's what they said about Occupy Wall Street. But here's one that I found interesting. RT reports often characterize the U.S. as a surveillance state, because we are, and alleged widespread infringements of civil liberties, police brutality, and drone use. Good gosh, that upsets me. What's so wrong with them saying that? We say it all the time because it's true. They don't want the truth out. That's really all it's about. They're against, they run an anti-fracking program. God forbid. RT is a leading media voice opposing Western international intervention in the Syrian conflict and blaming the West for waging information wars against the Syrian government. But, it just goes on. Here's another RT closely tied to, the Kremlin. We could say the same exact thing about MSNBC, ABC, CNN, and the like. Washington Post, New York Post. They're all linked to our freaking government. They are. They're linked. They're in tongue-in-cheek, butt-in-cheek, whatever. They're holding hands. Our mainstream media and our government. We might as well have Hitler-style government. Here's another one. RT focuses on social media. Oh, gosh. RT uses social media to expand and reach people. Oh no. RT requires its hosts, those who are part of it, they have to have a social media account. So what? God, just give me some solid evidence, and it'd be, that's all I ask. That's all I ask. I don't want to get into it more, but here's just their views. Here's just a little more information. This is how likely they believe something is, but that is the end of the report. So there you have it. I tried to shorten it a little bit, but I know I dragged on a little on some of those, and I apologized for that. But it's a bit frustrating when we hear the mainstream media tell us it's 17 agencies that has information, and we find out it's only 3. When the mainstream media implies that Donald Trump won through voter hacking, and even goes to the point where Jill Stein went and did recounts because of Russia, right? Russia's messing in the election. We need to prove it, right? And then we find out that the document that never was the case. There was no tampering with the voting machines. We were told that, that they had solid evidence that Russia was involved with WikiLeaks and Guccifer and passing out the information. But when we read the report, it all says we assess, we judge, we think, we don't know, but we have high possibility that is the case. Then we find out, then the lying mainstream media tells us that, well, the hacking of the election just now started. Russia just started messing with the election and got Donald Trump elected. It just happened now, this year. Then we read the report and we find out that they've known since 2012 that Russia has been putting propaganda on TV or whatever. And for that, yeah, they're guilty. All countries are. We're guilty of that with Israel. Why? There's a lot of questions here, but I think the reason is obvious. The U.S. government, the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton, they're big crybabies, and they don't want to look so bad. So they want to find somebody to blame it on. That is a typical leftist tactic. And, the other thing is they could be sparking a war with Russia in the very near future, and I hope not. And then they're going to paint a lot of people, YouTubers all across who are pro-America. That is my country. That is the only country I stand with as far as, living in America. I love all countries. I'd love to go visit. I'd love to go to Greece or, any country, but this is my home, and this is the one that I stand with because this is where I'm at. And I hope, for your international listeners, you stand where you're at in your country, unless you're in Korea where you're out of freedoms there, or in some crazy, countries where lots of chaos is happening, and my heart is with you there. But anyhow, we just need to be careful, because if they do start a war with Russia, they're definitely going to label people as Russian agents or Russian propagandists or Russian spies. And it's lies. It's just straight up lies, as you've seen with this Russian assessment document. Lie after lie that you've been told isn't even true. And here's the video to prove it. So please send this out to everyone you know. So especially those who are being misled by the media about this information, because the truth is what we need to focus on, and that's what's in this document. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning into my channel. Please don't forget to check out my partner, getthetea.com. He's got amazing products. I feel better when I take any of the stuff on there. I particularly love the Super Strength Tea, one of my favorite products, one of the things I cannot live without, and it's a really good price. It's $35 for a bag. It helps fund what I do here on this channel. Please go there, check it out. He's also got other supplements, vitamin C and moringa leaf and colostrum, many other things. But please go to getthetea.com and let him know Lisa Haven sent you. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. This is Lisa Haven signing out.